Imagine a world where extreme racism is recognized as a mental health issue. What impact would that have on our society? This isn't just a hypothetical question. It's the center of a compelling proposal by Alvin F Pan, a renowned psychiatrist. He suggests that we consider extreme racism as a delusional disorder, a notion that shakes our traditional understanding of racism. Racism, as we know, is deeply entrenched in our society, and its impact is pervasive. It's not just about hurtful words or discriminatory actions, it goes beyond that. Those harboring extreme racist beliefs often exhibit behaviors that aim at harming or even eliminating specific racial groups. These behaviors, Pan argues, are not unlike the symptoms of major psychiatric disorders. He urges the psychiatric community to pay heed, to craft guidelines for diagnosing and treating these manifestations of racism. The danger these individuals pose to society is real and immediate, and it's high time we approached it with the seriousness it deserves. So, what if we were to approach extreme racism from a psychiatric perspective? Enter Alvin F Pan, who proposes a radical shift in our understanding of extreme racism. Alvin F Pan, a renowned psychiatrist, suggests that we view extreme racism not merely as a social or moral failing, but as a mental health issue. He posits that individuals who harbor extreme racist beliefs and whose behaviors are directed towards causing harm or eliminating specific racial groups often display symptoms that mirror those of major psychiatric disorders. Pan's proposal raises several intriguing parallels. Consider the delusions of grandeur typical in certain psychiatric conditions. These delusions often involve a distorted perception of self-worth, power, knowledge, identity, or exceptional relationship to a deity or famous person. Isn't there an eerie similarity here? Extreme racists often harbor a distorted sense of superiority based on their racial identity, a delusion that their race is somehow more worthy or powerful. Now, let's consider the paranoid delusions that are a hallmark of other psychiatric disorders. These involve intense irrational suspicions or fears, often leading to violent behavior. Doesn't this sound like the irrational fear and hatred that extreme racists often exhibit towards those they perceive as different or less than? Pan's proposal also emphasizes the need for the psychiatric community to develop formal guidelines for diagnosing and treating manifestations of extreme racism. This is not just about labeling. This is about understanding the roots of these harmful behaviors and finding ways to intervene effectively. It's about recognizing the danger these individuals pose to societal harmony and the well-being of racial and ethnic groups targeted by their hatred. In this light, extreme racism isn't just a societal issue, but a public health concern. It requires our attention, our understanding, and most importantly, our action. It's high time we start viewing extreme racism through the lens of mental health and begin taking the necessary steps towards diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. So, what would our world look like if Pan's proposal was implemented? If extreme racism was acknowledged as a mental health issue, it could fundamentally reshape our understanding of racism. By classifying it as a delusional disorder, we might see increased attention to the underlying psychology of racism, leading to more comprehensive and effective treatments. The stigma associated with mental health could potentially deter individuals from harboring extreme racist beliefs, thus reducing harmful behaviors. This proposal would also prompt an examination of racism's severe impact on mental health, not only for the victims, but also for the perpetrators. It would push us to consider how societal structures and cultures contribute to the development of these extremist views, prompting a deeper understanding of the systemic roots of racism. One could imagine a world where there is increased public awareness about the harmful effects of racism, leading to a more empathetic society. There could be more resources dedicated to mental health services, focusing on preventing and treating extreme racist beliefs. This could result in a reduction in racially motivated hate crimes and an overall improvement in societal harmony. However, this proposal is not without challenges. It could potentially be misused to absolve individuals of accountability for racist actions, labeling them as mentally ill instead of holding them responsible. It's essential to strike a balance between understanding the psychological underpinnings of racism and ensuring that individuals are held accountable for their actions. The potential for change is immense, but it all hinges on the psychiatric community's response. As we've explored today, The question isn't simple, nor are the answers. We've delved into Alvin F Pan's provocative proposal that extreme racism could be recognized as a mental health issue, akin to a delusional disorder. His call to the psychiatric community to formalize guidelines for diagnosing and treating such manifestations of racism underscores the potential danger these individuals pose to society. This shift in understanding extreme racism as a psychiatric disorder could revolutionize the way we approach this issue. It's a complex issue, but one thing is clear. It's time for a new perspective on extreme racism. The question remains, are we ready to take that step?